So, hello and welcome to this course. Now, if you're still undecided whether to actually take this course, let's now just give a quick overview what you can expect from it and what it will be about, like just in a nutshell, right? We are not going into specifics, but just what is the general goal and the general idea of this course, and what is not the general idea of this course. We will also cover that. In one of the next videos, then you will have a more detailed overview where we will actually go over the chapters and have a very brief summary what's going to happen in the chapters. So let's not lose any time and let's just look into what is this course about. Now, one of the things that this course wants to achieve is to give you an overview on UI Toolkit. Now, this does not mean that we will cover every single button that there is in UI Toolkit, because there are a lot of buttons, believe me, and there are a lot of different controls and a lot of things that you can use, and it would not make a lot of sense to try to put everything into here. The idea is to show you every important thing that you might need, touch it, and sort of put it in the right drawer, put it into the right kind of mental, give it some mental label for you, such that you know, okay, whenever I'm having this sort of problem, that's what I have to use. So this is the general idea. Now, there are a couple of things that we will basically not touch. We will not touch things like transitions and animations, for example, because I left that out because for me, this is something where like the idea of how to use it, how to set it up is very simple. Just look it up in the documentation. It's 2 lines, then you set it up. And then you can basically animate and transition everything, but this doesn't solve any real problem, right? This is just kind of the sugar, and we are not going to, although I think we have a couple of nice looking examples and nice sort of realistic examples, we are not going to look at only sugar. We actually want the meat. So this is sort of one idea, is we want the meat, not the sugar, if that makes any sense. Okay, now, one sort of a little bit isolated thing that is that is sort of its separated section is the layout and Flexbox section. However, I covered that pretty extensively, and I think it's about 2.5 hours or something like that just on this topic, because in order to actually have productive results in UI Toolkit, if you want to do the whole thing yourself, if you don't have your own designer, and probably a lot of you guys are in that situation that they also have to touch it, they also have to do at least some basic layout, some prototype layouting. You will be very confused, and you will make a lot of things that don't make any sense, that seem very weird if you have no understanding of the Flexbox system. So I think in order to be able to use UI Toolkit efficiently and be able to quickly prototype your stuff, this is important, and that's why it's in here. However, it's a little bit isolated because you basically for the starter, you don't need any code. You just have to play around in the UI builder, in the editor, and just understand what those properties mean, basically. Okay, so that's this. Then let's go to the next topic, because obviously the majority of the course will touch scripting and having kind of the techniques and the tools to manipulate your UI by scripts, to use events, to know how to put data into your UI, to I don't know, whatever else we might touch. You will see a lot of those specific topics in the general overview, but this will be kind of a major part. Whatever you need to basically get a medium to large UI project going, we will go over this. Now, the next point that I want to mention, and like those points are not in a particular order or in a particular priority, those are just to give you an impression, a first impression. One important distinction to make is that we are technically only going to look at runtime UI. That by runtime UI, I mean stuff where you finally press your play button in Unity and you sort of execute your game and you see your game live. Now, the other thing that you can use is do editor scripting, that you only need, you sort of build your own Unity tools to make your life easier in Unity. We are not going to explicitly touch this. However, I would say, I don't know, 85–90% of the stuff that we will use and the techniques that we will use will also be useful for editor scripting. However, there are definitely also a couple of things that are a little bit different for editor scripting. And for those, there are other tutorials, or you can try that, search for it in the documentation and so on. Now, I had to decide for something, and I made this decision for this course that we are focusing on runtime UI. That means all the stuff that you would want to have in an app or a game finally, and that you see when you basically press the play button. Now, obviously, as probably every decent course should be, we will use a lot of practical examples, and particularly for a UI course, it wouldn't make any sense to not use examples. So there are literally dozens of tiny examples in here, because obviously to demonstrate something you have to use an example. And what I tried is to first start with the very basic thing where we really only have like 2 elements on the canvas and we manipulate those 2 elements. And then after a couple of videos, always throw in bigger examples where you will not see me kind of do the whole thing from every little step, but you will see some prepared UI that is already having something in place, and then we will talk about only the aspect that we are focusing on currently. So again, there will be a lot of examples, and we'll also have a course project that will go sort of throughout all the lessons, where we will try to again and again apply the new stuff onto this course project. So there will be a lot of practice involved. And now basically, what is the ultimate goal? What is sort of the thing that the course in the end is trying to aim at? And that is to just give you the tools to then do your own work, right? Obviously, you will not be able to, we will not touch every single scenario in which you can be. But the idea is that after this course, you will have for let's say 9 of 10 cases that you might be confronted with in real apps and in real games, the problems that you might face, that in 9 of 10 of those cases you will have a good idea where to look, what sort of the piece of UI toolkit, what is the component of UI toolkit that you have to touch in order to solve your problem, and how to find further solutions that we didn't touch. And obviously also for a lot of cases you can just use the stuff that we used, that we programmed in the course directly. But obviously I don't know, we are using 30 different specific examples, and there are thousands of problems out there for you for which you might need something. But the general idea is how to not only learn specific examples, but try to abstract a little bit and understand what is the general thing that this is solving. What are events solving? Why do you need data binding? When can you use templates? Stuff like that. That's the general goal. So have a good basis to then be able to solve your own stuff.